strange bird with two heads. In the depths of a dense jungle, there lived a strange bird with two heads. It was unlike any other bird in the world, and its peculiar appearance had made it the talk of the town among the locals. The bird's two heads had distinct personalities. One head was always calm and composed, while the other was hyperactive and impulsive. The two heads would often argue with each other, and sometimes, their arguments would turn into full-blown fights. The people of the jungle found this sight amusing and would often gather around the bird to witness its strange behavior. The bird's unusual appearance and behavior had caught the attention of a group of scientists who were studying the local flora and fauna. They were intrigued by the bird's unique physiology and decided to capture it for further study. The scientists set up a trap using birdseed and waited patiently for the bird to take the bait. The bird, however, was too smart to fall for their trap. It had seen similar traps before and knew better than to get caught. Days turned into weeks, and the scientists grew impatient. They needed to capture the bird to continue their research, but they were running out of ideas. Finally, they decided to use a tranquilizer dart to put the bird to sleep. The dart hit the bird, and it fell to the ground, unconscious. The scientists rushed to capture the bird and took it back to their lab for further study. In the lab, the scientists were amazed by the bird's physiology. They discovered that the bird had two separate brains that controlled each head. This was unlike anything they had ever seen before. They ran a series of tests on the bird and found that it was intelligent and had a strong sense of self-awareness. The bird, however, was not happy being in captivity. It missed the freedom of the jungle and longed to be back with its family. It missed the sound of the trees rustling in the wind, the chirping of the other birds, and the warmth of the sun on its feathers. The scientists noticed the bird's unhappiness and decided to release it back into the jungle. They set the bird free and watched as it flew away, back to its home. The bird's return to the jungle was met with great excitement. The other birds were amazed to see the bird with two heads, and they welcomed it back with open wings. The bird, however, was not the same as before. It had changed. It was no longer the hyperactive and impulsive bird it used to be. Instead, it had become wise and calm, and its two heads were now working in harmony. The bird had learned a valuable lesson during its time in captivity. It had learned that true freedom comes from within, and that it was possible to find peace even in the most difficult of circumstances. From that day on, the bird with two heads became a symbol of wisdom and inner strength in the jungle. Its story was passed down from generation to generation, and it became a legend among the animals of the jungle. And so, the bird with two heads lived out the rest of its life in the jungle, content and happy, surrounded by the love of its family and the beauty of nature.